Hello everyone, and welcome back to the homestead. Today we're going to can that redbud tree. Now all you're going to want to do is get into your tree and collect the flowers. Now mind you, standing in a tree and trying to pull teeny tiny flower buds off can be a little ridiculous sometimes, so if you happen to take the stem with it too, it's not the end of the world. When you get back into your kitchen, you can then remove the stem so you're not precariously perched in a tree trying to do this for about a half hour, if not more, depending on how much you're making. So we're going to end up collecting, now I made a double batch on this, but just the simple batch that I'm going to show you would be 4 cups of flowers destemmed to 4 cups of boiling water. Now in my eagerness to make a double batch, went a little overboard and put too much water, so I'm going to have to take some of that out. But I'm going to go ahead and add my 2 tablespoons of lemon juice in, because the lemon juice will actually help extract the color out of the flowers. It's the rumor I read when I first started doing it, so I've just always continued to do it. Now, once you get your lemon juice stirred in, what you're going to want to do is leave this on your countertop for about an hour to cool down. You're not going to leave it overnight on your countertop. Once it has cooled, you will stick it in your refrigerator. And this needs to sit for about 24 hours. Now, mind you, if I'd have made mine at the 24-hour mark, I would have been making jelly at 9:30 at night. Would have probably been an utter catastrophe because my brain is usually gone by that point. And so the next morning I got up, so mine went more like a 36-hour. But again, it's okay because it was in the refrigerator and not sitting on the countertop, so it's fine. So all I did then was put a grate on the top of my other mason jar and strain this through a filter to make sure that I gathered all that lovely redbud juice. So right now we're going to take that redbud juice and we're going to turn it into redbud jelly. Now mind you, if you're not a fan of jelly, you can turn it into redbud syrup. Okay guys, as you saw, I drained the mixture, and so we're going to now take the solution and throw it together. It's super early the next morning. I have my coffee over here to help me get through it. So what we're going to start with is just 4 cups of this, and you see this gorgeous color that it ends up turning out, and you're going to kind of keep that through the jelly too. Now my pots have measuring lines on the inside of them. If yours do not, measure in a cup. Now this leftover, if you wanted to, if you have some left over that's not enough to really make juice with, you could make redbud syrup with, which is really good too for like pancakes and stuff. So all we're going to do now is take our calcium water, get that out of the way, and we're going to add 4 teaspoons of calcium water. And I pre-mix this, and this of course if you're using Pomona Pectin, and you just mix that up per the directions in the box. Pretty easy. Keep mine in a mason jar. So you're just going to take 4 teaspoons. And if you find a lot of these recipes online, they'll tell you to follow the mint jelly recipe. The mint jelly recipe doesn't exist anymore in the box, so I think everybody's stuff's a little outdated. So then what you're going to do is just kind of turn this on, and you're going to want this to heat up. And then we're going to start mixing our pectin and our sugar together. So we like ours a little bit sweeter, so we're going to use 2 cups, but you can use anywhere from, I think the directions are like 3/4 of a cup to 2 cups of sugar. So again, it just depends on your preference. We're waiting for this to heat up like I said, and for here we're just going to take 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll put those in there. And then we're just going to stir that pectin in with that sugar. So that way it's all mixed and you don't have this whole clumping thing that could happen if you mix it in, just, putting it in top in your juice. Break up my lumps of sugar in here. And then we're going to take this one actually calls for a 1/4 cup of lemon juice too. So we're going to get that all stirred in together. And we're just going to wait for this to start boiling. So when this starts boiling, we'll come back. Okay, so this has now reached a rolling boil. So that's what you're looking for. So once you get to your rolling boil, remember our pectin's already mixed in with our sugar. And you can use the amount of sugar that you want. So like I said, it doesn't have to be as sweet, because with this you can use a lower sugar, but my guys like things a little bit sweeter. So we're at our rolling boil. So we're just going to take our sugar and pectin mixture and mix it together. And then we're just going to kind of stir it until everything is dissolved. All right, so it looks like everything is dissolved. So we're just going to let this return to a rolling boil, and then we're going to remove it from the heat. Easy enough. So then let's get our jars out. Okay, so I got a funnel. I don't feel like living dangerously this morning. I want jelly all over my feet. Stir this up again. You're going to leave about a 1/4 inch of headspace on these if you're going to can them up. If you're not going to can them up, put as much as you want if you're going to stick them into the fridge. Sticky mess. And then just wipe your rims. Instead, if you're going to can these up, you're just going to kind of want to stir, not heavily stir, but just stir a little bit. To make sure that you get any air bubbles that happen to be in there out. At this point, if you see you do have some foam that you don't like, sometimes I skim mine off. They're just a couple areas. Like I said, this one doesn't make a lot, so I don't fret about it. If I may, grape jelly seems to make the most. So now we're just going to get the lids on these, and then I'm going to throw mine in the fruit saver. Hey guys, so I've let this finish processing, and I just kind of let it sit while I finished up a few things. And so all you need to do now is just take them out and sit them on your counter. Now, they'll need to kind of sit for about 24 hours because it can take anywhere from 12 to 24 hours for your jelly to set. Don't come in, swish them around, don't shake them up, don't do any of that type of stuff. Just let them sit in a place they're not going to be messed with. I have the best results with that. People like to come in and pick them up and look at them, and well, that never ends well for me, but might be different at your place. So yeah, so we're just going to kind of let these sit, like I said, get everything cleaned up. Redbud jelly tastes kind of like cotton candy, if you will, so it depends on how sweet you want it. Fun activity for the kids, especially pulling the teeny tiny buds off. Their fingers seem to do it better than mine. But just remember, if you're going to harvest these and you've only got a couple trees around, don't strip your trees bare. This is some of the first food for the honeybees that are coming out in your area. So you're going to want to harvest very responsibly so that your early pollinators have something to kind of munch on while they're waiting for everything else to come out. Dandelions are coming up, so when those really start popping, I'll be pulling some of those and making dandelion jelly, like all of that type of stuff. So you can just kind of walk around your yard and fill up your pantry. So to answer the question, yes, you can can a tree. So here we go. Proof, one canned tree. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you for stopping by, and have a great day.